Hi, and welcome back to Q&A with KJ. This week, I am tackling the question that real estate professionals are getting on a daily basis, and that is, how is the market? Well, you'll most likely get a one-word answer. Great, crazy, exhausting. I've been guilty of calling it a circus, but I have found a much more helpful adjective that describes it across the housing market, across the board, and that is layered. It is so layered. And you've guessed it, I'm going to compare it to an onion. And not just because it has all these layers, but because there are no two onions alike. There are no two buyers alike. There are no two sellers alike. There are no two buyer and seller relationships alike. And that is so important to remember, that we are working with human beings who are navigating a very emotionally charged supply and demand market. And I'm going to go over the layers in a very basic manner because this is already probably going to be longer than my usual videos. But if you ever want to discuss it further, we can get coffee or you can give me a call. The first layer is the layer we all have to know. It's your goals. Why do you want to move? Where do you want to move? When do you want to move? Okay. The second one is, what are your options? Obviously, you have an ideal option, but you have to look at all the options. And that moves into the next layer, which is planning. So you're going to plan for your ideal option, but what if that doesn't work? Please trust the real estate professionals out there who are experienced and won't upsell you, like myself, who are just out to help you, to give you different options to move. This is a market that you have to be incredibly creative with. And then once you have your plan, get ready. So put that plan in motion. As a seller, make sure your house is in order. We talked about that last week. And as a buyer, get pre-approved. And I do not mean just going online, doing a 5-minute questionnaire and getting, oh yes, you qualify. No, you need to talk to a lender. You need to get your documents in. That's when you are really pre-approved, and that's when you really know what you can do and what you are comfortable with. Sometimes it's not always the same thing. And then the fun part, once you're ready, it's time to list. It's time to shop. And I have one piece of advice for both the sellers and the buyers. Do not rush it. Do not rush your buyers. Buyers, do not rush your decisions. Yes, you're going to have to make your decision by the end of the weekend, most likely, but walk and tour that home. Sellers, give them time to. Don't give 3-hour windows and say that's it. There are consequences to rushing this process, especially this layer. When a buyer is rushed to make a decision, most likely, and this is where most of these deals have fallen through, at the home inspection, they're spending 2 or 3 hours there, and that's when they have buyer's remorse. That's when they're like, I don't know why I chose this house. I'm not feeling it, because they were rushed through. They need the privacy and the time to discuss it with their realtor. And once you've decided, oh, I feel it, let's put an offer in. This is when both sellers and buyers have to come together, and they have to form a meeting of the minds on everything. This layer is the most important layer because it can make every layer fall apart after if it is not laid out before the contract. You need to discuss the terms of the home inspections. Please do not waive them, but you need to discuss the terms. You need to discuss any contingencies. Do you have to sell? Is there a divorce involved, a bankruptcy involved? Do you need to find suitable housing? You need to clarify those expectations up front. And the biggie, which was one that usually was not negotiated until it became a problem, I don't think those days are ever coming back, is the appraisal. You're overbidding on a home, you're accepting an overbid on a home. Well, is it an overbid? You need to discuss what you're going to do if the appraisal does not come out to the accepted price. And once you have all these expectations figured out. There might be even some unique ones to your situation. Iron them out now, then it is a much smoother process to get to the settlement table where you get your keys or you give away your keys. Whatever that first layer goal was, you get there. I hope this has been helpful. You know where to find me if you have any questions about this. If you have any specific questions you would like me to address in a Q&A, put them in the comments. And I will see you next week at the next Q&A. Be kind, be well, take care.